Billionaire bets $1 million no one can calm his dog, little girl with autism proves him wrong. The golden rays of the sun poured over the vast green lawns of the Lexington estate, an architectural marvel owned by tech billionaire Charles Hawthorne. Cameras flashed, reporters gathered, influencers live-streamed. It was no ordinary day. Charles stood confidently before the media with a bold announcement. $1 million, he declared, raising a hand. To anyone who can calm my dog. No tricks. No force. Just calm him down. The crowd murmured. Some laughed. Others raised eyebrows. Behind Charles, a massive black cane corso, named Bear, barked fiercely from inside a reinforced cage. Muscular, agitated, and undeniably intimidating, Bear had been uncontrollable ever since Charles's wife, Clara, had passed away. Once gentle and well-trained, the dog now growled at everything that moved. He'd bitten 2 handlers. Broken a gate. And terrified even the bravest trainers. For Charles, this challenge was more than a spectacle, it was a desperate attempt to save Bear. Clara had loved the dog like a child. Putting him down felt like letting go of her all over again. People stepped forward one by one, dog trainers, animal whisperers, even celebrities. Each one failed. Bear barked, lunged, growled. No one got within a few feet. Then, through the murmuring crowd, came a small, quiet presence. A little girl. She wore a soft lavender dress and held a frayed stuffed bunny close to her chest. Her eyes were distant, yet calm. She walked beside her mother, not making eye contact with anyone. Her name was Sophie. She was 8 years old. Diagnosed with nonverbal autism. She didn't speak much, if at all, but she had a world of feeling locked inside her. And that day, something had drawn her here. She wants to try, Sophie's mother said gently. Charles blinked. This isn't safe. She's been talking about your dog ever since she saw him on the news, her mother whispered. She doesn't usually talk about anything. The crowd stilled. Charles hesitated, then signaled to open the gate. Bear growled instantly. The air grew tense. Everyone held their breath. But Sophie didn't flinch. She walked slowly, carefully, until she was just a few feet away from Bear. Then she sat down in the grass. Quiet. Still. Calm. She didn't speak. She didn't reach out. She simply placed her stuffed bunny on her lap and stared gently into the distance. Bear barked once. Twice. Loud, fierce. Sophie didn't move. Bear stared. Confused. Then, something changed. He stopped barking. He took a step forward. And then, he did what no one expected. Bear lay down, lowered his massive head, and gently placed it on Sophie's lap. The crowd gasped. Sophie smiled softly and ran her fingers through his fur. Bear closed his eyes, and sighed. Silence fell over the estate. Charles walked forward, stunned, his voice trembling. How did she do that? Sophie's mother smiled, eyes glistening. She knows how loud the world can feel. She just gave him the peace she wishes she had. Charles knelt beside Bear, tears falling freely. The snarling, broken creature had found calm, in the presence of a little girl the world often misunderstood. You just earned $1 million, he whispered to Sophie. Sophie didn't respond with words. Instead, she handed him a drawing, a crayon picture of a giant dog and a little girl sitting side by side under a sky full of stars. The next day, Charles announced the launch of the Sophie Sanctuary, a foundation dedicated to connecting therapy dogs with children on the autism spectrum and veterans with PTSD. Sophie donated her entire $1 million reward to the cause. I just want others to feel safe, she said quietly through a speech-generating device. Bear became the face of the sanctuary. A symbol of healing and unexpected friendship. And Sophie? She didn't need to speak to be heard. Because sometimes, the smallest hearts carry the biggest love.